you can just share a little bit on your past lives, if you have seen your past lives, why you are the way you are in this life. You had to go through your journey of marriage and this one and that one. But after 30 seconds, write down your questions. You can write it down on marriage, which normally people in India are very shy. No problem. On parenting, on children, on relationship, any relationship, and even on the miracles of attracting money. Okay, these five things, if you have any questions, write down. And yes, and Suzanne, if you can, uh,
Yes.
we can exchange numbers. We can make a little group and exchange our videos with each other. It'll
Beautiful.
complementing both of us. I think we are on the same page.
Love to. Love to. Love to. So I went to a meditation event in New York in 1982, I think.
Mhm.
And it's the only time that they had an entry for men and an entry for women. The only time. So well, naturally, I'm a woman. But it didn't feel right. I mean, I had to go through the woman's arch, but it didn't feel right. I go, well, that's interesting, because I'm clearly a woman and I'm a typical old-fashioned heterosexual woman. So I don't know what's this about. I got into the hall. I sat down. We did a meditation. I saw myself somewhere, apparently in the Punjab. I was a 10-year-old boy. I was the hope of the family. And I died.
Mhm.
And I saw myself. Now, the reason that my dear friend Vasudha has to put me into a sari is I am happy in a kurta. I am happy. I met Indira Gandhi wearing a silk kurta that was long enough to be a dress, because I had only come with one dress on this trip, and I was going to the world premiere of the Gandhi film, and suddenly I'm invited to a cocktail party. But I don't feel comfortable in saris. So what was that about? But so interesting that in my real life, I almost died when I was 22, had a near-death experience, and yet knew that I could not do this to my grandmother and my mother. The mourning would be too tough on them. And here we are. That had happened in a former life. I'm convinced that it was real. I'm convinced that it was real.
Beautiful.
I've seen myself at the feet of Jesus. 5 times Jesus has come to me. I'm not a Christian.
Wow.
Like 5 times. Twice in India, Jesus materialized in front of me. Now, there's no explanation except a past life. My dear friend Samantha, who's on this call, and Manoj-ji, you spoke to her, she knows that I had a life in China. Samantha and I had a life in China. She's seen it. I've seen it. We were, I don't know, the 15th wife of somebody, the 17th wife of somebody, the 250th wife of somebody, who knows? But that was the life. And I had seen this in 1980. And then I saw it again through my friendship with Samantha. So yeah.
So
it's real.
Susan, before we take questions from everyone and those who want to raise your hands on the chat, on this one reaction, you can raise and we'll take questions. We'll ask Vasudha, who has introduced us to Susan, and for her to ask her question first and then go to others. But I just have this understanding, Susan, which is, I used to always wonder, I mean, everything was man-woman relationship. It was quite clear to me. I would always have this question of man-man relationship, girl, boy, woman-woman relationship. And this was always playing in my mind till few years back. This whole poop opened up in my, opened up means the understanding opened. Now, I would like you to share that and then we quick question. The understanding opened that, it is not about, see, why does man get attracted to woman or vice versa, and why this marriage is basically, it's not about man and woman, it's the male energy and the female energy. We are totally full energy, which is partly male, partly women, partly female. So I look like a man, but I have been a woman many a times, vice versa. You look like you are a woman, but you've been a man many. So it's the whole thing is about these two energies, yin and yang, merging together. So when you complete yourself, or when you are feeling complete with yourself, you don't need the other. You may have the other, but you are complete. So because we need the other, we get attracted to each other, and we want the other's energy to complete ourselves. The man wants the female energy and vice versa. And if we learn in various ways, various techniques, various tools you give, we give, how to complete ourselves. Guruji has given us so many tips, that one of them is this breathing and everything. You complete yourself, the other doesn't exist, or need is not there. And yet you can be together. It's not like that. So anything on that you would like to say? And then, of course, take questions from others. Yeah.
In about 1999, 2000, I suddenly went to an altered state in which I saw the sap in the tree. It was everything I had read about from every guru I have read, right? I had never experienced at that level before. And it happened when I was getting into a car, leaving the spiritual bookstore in Los Angeles. I had to drive home, I was a better driver. Well, I said, I have an appointment with my personal trainer. Maybe I should go. So he said, you were 30% stronger that day. And here's a guy who never heard of meditation in his life. I'm explaining, I can see the air. I can feel the whole thing. So in that state, having a partner would be absurd. What would I do with that? Why would I do that? It would only bring my vibrational state lower, right? Forgive me for the frog in my throat. So I found at that point, 1999, 2000, that was really the path that I preferred. And I took a few segues into intimate relationships for different periods of time since then. But for me, the real juice of life in this lifetime, at this time in my life, has been to be in the state of bliss, move my vibrational state up, be able to share that with others, and alleviate their pain and suffering by sharing the tools that work. Now, that's a decision for me, but in India, the first 20 years is for school, and the next 20 is to be a householder, and then here I am, then for God. So it's a normal thing in your country.
Yeah.
In America, we're perpetual teenagers. They're 90 and they're still looking for a new boyfriend,
Yeah. But Guruji would give this little joke. Jokingly, he would say, no, man, he lived so much of his life in America. So he's in America, when you'll see 70, 80 years, the man is holding the woman's hand and they are going on this. In India, you see, they are doing the same, going to Rameshwaram, this temple, that temple. So that
At
was
least they're preparing for the next phase.